Go.
Hello, and welcome to Pathfinder Norveld. We're playing a homebrew Pathfinder 1E campaign set in a land of ice and snow. Let's introduce our resident heroes. Dave plays our human rogue, Angelus. Ad plays our half-elf ranger, Ulf. And Lee plays our half-elf cleric, Giles the Necromancer. Our heroes are making their way to the town of Pient via the swamp. They have just been waylaid by a strange figure in the road and have fought a shambler. They head off with Giles's newly acquired skeleton, the injured Marion, and the rest of the party heading south. Right, guys, you begin.
Okay.
So at the end of the last session, you guys killed the shambler, and you were just finished up. Lee had resurrected this weird skeleton creature. Like I said, Marion was injured by the car. You'd gathered your things and you were ready to go. Lee, as you take a few steps away, you notice something strange about your skeleton. It started weeping blood quite heavily all over it, and it's going a strange shade of red.
Okay, this sounds good. We always like a bit of blood. I assume this is down to the onyx that I used to create this skeleton.
Yeah, so you guys have you have the spell Animate Dead, and it was a more powerful version of the onyx. So normally, if you get a small piece of onyx worth 25 gold, you can animate a lesser skeleton. You've got a 50 gold piece of onyx, and you've been able to animate the more powerful skeleton variant, the bloody skeleton, which is a bit stronger and a little bit more difficult to die. And we'll find a little bit more out about the bloody skeleton as we go along. But you have resurrected a bloody skeleton variant to be your servant.
Perfect. I do like the sound of that. I might send it Angelus's way shortly.
It looks very metal. So you guys, what is your next move? You guys know that south is on your way to Pient.
Well, don't we want to go south anyway? Because we've got I forget what you call them, but we don't want to end up with any more of those monsters, do we?
Yeah, you guys saw shamblers all in the distance, like here. So this place is full of them. This swamp is.
Guys, any objections about going south? Like now?
I think we've checked everything out around here, haven't we now? So we might as well head on, I suppose. What's Marion doing? Are we sending her back home, or is she tagging along?
She's following you, but very slowly because of her wounds.
Okay.
So she might get eaten.
Or should be sacrificed by Lee.
Or both.
I guess we should continue south then, shall we?
Okay, if we're not going to sacrifice Marion to dark gods.
It's a bit early in the season to be doing that.
Fair enough. So you guys begin to head south then. Can I get some perception checks from you all?
Sure.
Oh, what? 13 plus 10 plus 5, is it? I think so. Wait. So
That's
I've got
27, Lee.
Yeah, I was thinking I've got the contacts and avatar, so that's plus 10, and then I've also got plus 5 on my sheet, plus 13, so...
Yep.
Yeah, so 20, so cool.
18, sorry. 28.
18.
28, not 18. I don't know why I'm saying weird stuff.
I'll take
Dave,
whatever you tell me. Tell me one, I'll accept it.
What the rest of you guys get?
26.
25.
22, 25. So you guys, apart from seeing a few shamblers shuffle around in the distance, it begins to thin out a bit. Lee, you see smoke bellowing up ahead, the type of smoke that looks like it comes from a chimney. And as you guys get closer, you all begin to see a solitary spiral of smoke in the distance. This area is starting to look pretty familiar. As soon as you get out the swamp, you recognise maybe some areas where you used to play as a young man, where the forest is.
Looks like the old man's hut.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys end up at Ad's home. I will just move.
How long has it been since it's been to this home? It's going to be a bit dusty, right?
How long has it been, Ad, since you've been home?
This is a very, very good question. A good while.
Yeah.
I can't. How long? I don't know. I don't think we ever said, did we?
So we did the questions off stream, didn't we? So
yeah.
Tell us a bit about your backstory then, Ad.
So I lived in Pient with my father and mother. My mother died in childbirth. And then my father was attacked by a strange albino guy on a horse, leaving him crippled. Stole all his pelts and all of his goods. I joined the military in... Oh, where is it now? Svard, that's it, yeah.
Capital city.
Made some friends there and moved on to other work after that.
Nice. And you say it's been how many years? Because you're a half elf, so you age at a much slower rate than your poor old man. So how old he is really depends on how long you've been away.
Well, it's probably going to be at least 8 years by now.
Yeah, so it's been a while since you've seen the old man.
Yeah.
Did you keep in contact?
No. Funnily enough.
Terrible son.
Terrible.
Typical terrible son. So you guys arrive at the old Troels estate, and you see an old wizened man picking vegetables in the garden. I mean, it is spring, so actually he's probably planting vegetables, and it looks like he's planting some root vegetables in there. You guys are sort of overlooking a bit of a hilltop, a small cliff edge, looking down on the house, and this old man with his back bent and a hood over his head, so you can't quite see who he is. So yeah.
So
I'll just call over. Hello there, old man. It's kind of sniggery, cheeky-ish.
The old man looks up and he says, "Oh, my back. You young'uns need to come down here." And then he squints and he goes, "Is that you, boy?"
Yes, it is. It's been so long I've not been in any contact with you, but yes, it's me. I'm back.
He gives a broad grin and he says, "Come on, come down here. Let me see your friends. I can't say I wasn't expecting you."
Don't mind Giles. He always looks like that. He's not ill.
He looks you guys up and down, and he says, "Well, you're an interesting looking bunch, but I'd certainly have you at my dinner table. By the way, I received a note the other day meant for you."
For us as a party, or for me personally?
The messenger didn't say. He said, "Give this to your son when you see him," and it's apparently from Vigo.
Oh, okay. So that will be for us then.
Yeah.
He nods and he passes you a small tube, small wooden tube with a piece of parchment inside.
Okay. I'll open it up and actually I'll say, shall we go inside first and sit down, and then I'll open this letter.
Okay. He nods and he says, "Well, we can go inside. I've just got a visitor at the moment. A nice chap by the name of Bo. He doesn't speak much, but he came here a few days ago, needed some shelter, and you know what a kindly soul I am. I decided that he could stay a few days, at least until he can get on his merry way. So you can come in. I've just got a stranger by the fireside. So he goes into the house, opens the door, and invites you in. And you see by the fire a strangely glum-looking man by the fire, and he is sitting next to a really ancient-looking dog who's asleep. And you remember that this is a puppy that your father bought before you left.
Sorry, DM, but before we go any further, can we deal with the dog in the room?
Is he going to exterminate?
I don't know if he even knows.
Me?
Yeah, it's definitely you.
I don't sound like a dog, do I?
You do at the moment, yeah, you really do.
Okay, yeah, mate.
We apologise for this audio issue we're experiencing right now. It's one of Angelus's usual issues.
In Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, you can play something called a Warforged, which is like a construct robot. I think if we do play Dungeons and Dragons in the flesh, I think Dave needs to play a Warforged, because that's what he sounds like.
You've not fixed it, by the way, Dave.
Oh my god!
Just get a headset.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
And a PC.
Yeah, I need PC too.
There we are, that's much better.
Better?
Much
Yeah,
better.
that sounds better. Thank you, Dave.
Cool.
So yeah, you see your childhood pet and a man in your living room.
Okay, I'll give the pet a pet.
Hang on, 1 moment. Sorry, childhood pet? What is
Yeah.
it? A parrot? A tortoise?
It's a dog.
No, it's a dog. He left 8 years ago. Oh, it wasn't his childhood pet. It was it was the pet that he had before he left. It was a puppy, and now it's an ancient dog.
Ah, okay. Does it rip a sand off?
You give the dog a pet, and it is strangely unresponsive.
Uh-oh.
Oh god.
It's warm, it's breathing, but it's just
okay.
oddly still for an animal that you think is sleeping. Can you give me a knowledge nature?
Oh god, yeah.
I thought this was going to get very dark for a
That's
second
low.
episode.
I was expecting it to be stuffed.
That's only 12.
12. Maybe the dog's just a little bit under the weather, but it seems to be a bit unnaturally still for something that's living and breathing. Maybe it's just in a very deep sleep or out of it. It's just a bit unusual.
Okay. I don't notice anything. Oh, my knowledge nature was low, wasn't it?
You notice that the dog's breathing.
Yeah.
Like it's fine. The dog feels warm as well. It's just oddly lethargic.
Right.
Can I roll like my knowledge? I know my knowledge is religion, but
To see if anything Nexy is going on.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, cool. Give it a roll.
Oh, come on. Oh no, it wasn't as bad as I thought. It's still bad, but it's not as bad as I thought. So 7 and 5, so 13.
Yep, cool. You look at the dogs. How do you examine the dog?
I go over, give it a little pet, and start looking at its face and its body.
Yeah.
Watch my hand doesn't get bit off, but it doesn't seem to move. There's nothing going on.
No, it's like super like you lift its head, its jaw like opens up and its tongue lolls out, and Eric, who is Ad's father, looks round and turns and he says, "Yeah, the dog's not been well for a few days. I was going to go into town actually. I've taken some time off because my back's been really bad, but I did work at the tavern. Whether my job's still there when I get back, I don't know. But I was going to go to town and buy some herbs, but I've just not been able to. I was hoping that you chaps actually could go in. I was going to ask Bo, but he glances over to the man, and the man's sort of eerily quiet, just staring into the fire. but he's not the talkative type.
So, even if I go, so Bo, what's your story?
He looks at you, and he points to his ear, and then he does like a few symbols with his hands.
Oh, very deaf.
I'll slowly walk behind him and give my hands a good clap and see if he flinches.
Can you give me? Let's do. Okay, I'll do this, and you do a perception.
Okay. Oh. 29.
He very slightly flinches. Very subtle, but he does flinch.
So he's playing deaf then. He's not actually deaf.
There's definitely something magical going on there. I mean, I can't tell you that because obviously the dice roll is rubbish, but I just feel like something's been here and we're no doubt going to meet it later on. Well,
this fella's obviously shady, isn't he?
Well, he could just be an innocent deaf man.
Pretending to be deaf, man.
Should I give him a handshake? Was it a bit too early for that?
What are your handshakes?
It'll have some inflict serious wounds.
I'm just trying to think of a way to catch him out.
I mean, I need to get well familiar with my spells again, I think. Because I used to know quite a lot of these off the top of my head.
Is he having a drink? Has he got a drink?
No, he doesn't have a drink.
Is there cups and stuff around?
I mean, it's your house, yeah. You know where everything is.
Well, I haven't lived here for 8 years, but yeah.
Your in-game father's the type of person who kept everything exactly the way it is. Even your childhood cot is the same way it has been. It's been kept exactly the same. Apart from the fact that it looks like Bo's been sleeping in it. Like everything's the same.
I'll grab a cup and gesture to him. Drink. Do you want a drink?
Can I go
he nods.
He nods. So I will go and get him a drink, and I will use my. I think I've still got it somewhere. Elixir of Truth.
Ooh.
Oh, good shout! Yeah.
Dump that in it.
Whilst he's doing that, can I also roll for perception of the surroundings?
Yeah, of course you can.
Thank you. That's.
Can you give me a sleight of hand, if you're doing this stealthily versus Bo's perception?
34 is my perception.
I don't have sleight of hand, so do I use stealth instead?
No, you're going to have to give me a straight dex check -4.
Okay. So that's +2. So that's 22, so 18.
Yeah. Cool. So you put the elixir in. It doesn't look like Bo's noticed anyway. He's not reacted either way. Lee, what are you particularly looking for that's suspicious?
Just if there's anything that looks out of place in like a home. Obviously, I don't live here. I've never lived here, but maybe it's sort of like items that don't belong or potentially look slightly out of place.
It looks very shabby. For a house, it looks like an old man with not a lot of money lives here. It's got that smell of a person who's hoarding his belongings, but again, is keeping everything nice and clean. There's things like old baby blankets, like all wrapped up at the side. There's toys of wooden toys that have been etched out underneath the cot. It looks like a typical sort of a place where a child's lived, a young man's grown up, and he's kept everything pretty much exactly the way it has been. The only thing that seems particularly out of place is the weary traveller by the fire.
Is there anything that looks new?
Not in particular. No, nothing that you notice. No, nothing that looks particularly new.
Okay.
Back to you then, Ad. You've dumped this elixir of truth in the glass.
I'll hand him the glass and I'll take another one and fill that and drink the other one.
Cool. He drinks the glass and sets it down.
So, what are the attributes of this elixir of truth?
I'm just bringing that up now. So, your elixir of truth forces the drinker to say nothing but the truth for 10 minutes. A will save DC 13 negates. They must answer any question that's put to them in that time. With each question, it's a separate DC 13 will save. So I'll do the will save now.
Okay.
Look at you drugging this character.
It feels very much like the gang's back together. I'm just waiting for Dave to decapitate someone.
Right, will save. Will. Yep, there we go. Cool. I'm not going to tell you pass or fail because that that ruins it.
So I'll ask it, why are you pretending to be deaf?
He looks at you, cocks his head, looks at the drink, and up at you again. And he says, because people are afraid.
Ooh, what are people afraid of?
He takes his hat off, and you look, and you see elven ears, same as yours.
Yeah. Why did you think I would be afraid when I look similar to you?
This is the first time I've met you. I've been with your father for 4 days.
Okay. So where have you come from?
I've come from south.
South where?
I spent some time in Bayelt. I spent some time in the forests. I'm a traveller, and I've come to visit Pient.
Can we ask him what happened to the dog? Oof.
What happened to the dog? Any ideas?
He shakes his head. He says the dog is sick. I'm not a healer.
Okay, do you know why the dog might be sick?
I don't know. Maybe dogs eat something that they shouldn't eat. Maybe the dog. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a healer.
So where are you travelling to?
I'm travelling into the city.
Oh, okay. What business do you have there?
I am seeing some friends.
Who are these friends? Do they belong to any guilds?
Guilds? What do you mean? And he cocks his head.
Do they have any allegiances to anybody in particular?
We all have allegiances to people in particular, but these friends have no more allegiances than anyone else to their lord, to their king, to their god.
And who would that be?
Well, I won't sit here and minister to you, but I'm a follower of Iswaya,
Okay.
and our king is up for debate at the moment.
Can we ask him what business he has with your father?
Do you just say that out loud?
You can just ask him, Lee. It doesn't have to be me.
Does it not? What business do you have with this house and Ulf's father?
few people will offer you a place to stay. If you pretend to have some sort of weakness, people are more likely to accept you and take you in. This old man is probably less likely to be threatened by a man who's got some sort of different ability. So I thought I could stay here until they'd let me into the city.
Why won't they let you into the city at the moment?
I don't know. I went to the city a few days ago and they wouldn't let me in. And so I decided to come back here and stay a little while until they would. I don't know. You'll have to go and try yourself.
Okay. So it appears like he's not some crazy bloke then who's going to murder us all.
That's the question. We haven't asked that though, have we? Are you going to murder us?
That's very straightforward.
He looks at you and he says, I don't plan to. Do you intend to murder me?
No.
No promises.
Dave, under the elixir of truth.
By the way, I just came in and had a quick sip of what I was left. It was just, oh, damn.
Well. We have no plans to harm you.
Lee, can you give me a knowledge religion, please?
Oh no. Okay. Knowledge religion is 17 plus 22.
Notice a marginal indiscrepancy with his testimony. He does not look like a follower of Iswaya. He doesn't have the typical holy symbol around his neck or anything else. There's no identifiable feature, and in fact, the symbol he does have around his neck is not from Iswaya. It's from a different god.
So he's having. Okay, so I just say, you seem to be able to lie to us.
He cocks his head and puts the cup down, and he says, "Damn."
I'll start with the truth this time.
I have no ill intention towards any of you. I am a visitor of the city, and it's best if you probably just ignore me.
Well, it's kind of hard to ignore you when you're shacked up in my father's house.
And what have you done to the dog?
Animals don't tend to like me, so the dog has been lightly sedated while I've been here.
Oh, so I take it you passed that check on the elixir then and you were just blagging us?
Things like that don't tend to have the effect on me that people necessarily expect. I'm surprisingly headstrong. On that note, I'll be leaving, gentlemen, and I think it'd be best if no one decides to get in my way.
What?
How about you stay here and, in return, you owe us a favour?
How about
Just
we
waiting for the
escort the
bloodbath.
old man out and we just kill him right here?
Because I don't want to die in
He
season
looks
3.
straight at you in the Iad, and he says, I don't mean you any harm, but... And he turns around to your father, and he says, walk to the fire. And your father immediately does what he says. Put your hand out over the fire, and your father does immediately what he says. You want me to finish this?
I jump in front of the fire in between my father and the fire.
Yeah. He says he could burn his hand, he could bite off his own tongue, he could slit his own throat with a knife in his pocket. But I have control here, so I'll kindly be on my way.
Is that so?
He turns to you, Dave.
This is getting badly for
What's
me.
your will save?
Try
Oh,
to
God.
negotiate.
Where's my will?
My sword
no.
lost the silence attribute, didn't it?
It did, I'm
Okay,
afraid.
I rolled 14. Will base 15.
Okay. He says, sit. And you feel your legs start to go, but you manage to resist and stay standing.
Okay.
He says, I'm leaving now. And none of you are stopping me. We can part as friends or part as enemies. It's up to you which one.
Oh, I hate this guy.
Don't like him either. I
Really
really
want
don't.
to put an axe in him. Really want to put an axe in him.
I kind of have a feeling it could go quite badly for us. So
We end up. He's going to make us attack each other into or something.
that's what I mean. Then it needs one of us to fail a will save or something, doesn't it?
I think we should just let him go for now. Because, yeah, it's episode 2. We don't need to all be dead by episode 3.
But that wouldn't be right. It's normal.
How about we let him go and we go to the city and see what's going off there?
We'll say to him though before he leaves, like, if you ever cause any harm to this man, we'll come in after you.
He nods. And he said, I've never had any intention of harming him. Or you three, for that matter. I'm very interested in your progress. And he turns to Eric. And he goes, sit down. I was never here. You won't remember me. Goodbye, gentlemen. And then he walks out.
What a prick.
I don't like this guy. He's a bit too powerful for me. Yeah, I don't like the fact that his commands seem to be affecting 2 people.
Yeah, now he's gone. I'll just check on my father and be like, are you okay?
Yes. What were we doing? I brought you in for some reason. I told you about a guest, but I don't have anyone staying here.
No, I'll just pass him a glass of water or mead, whatever, and just give him that to chug on.
He drinks. And he says, oh, who's your lady friend? She looks injured. And Mariu's just there in the corner with her eyes wide, like looking absolutely frightened at what's taken place.
This is Marion. We helped her out on the road.
He nods and he says, she's injured. No, please sit down. And he gets her to sit down and he looks at her wounds and he opens up the old healer's kit that you had in your that you have in your house, and he begins to dress her wounds. And he says, "Oh, I'm a bit low on supplies at the moment. I could certainly do with some from town. And, oh, of course, I was telling you about the dog. I also need some medicine for the dog too. I've struggled to get in. I hope you don't mind if you could fetch some things for me when you're able to."
Sure. Give us the list, and I guess we better check out what's going on in the city, since how nobody's able to get in.
He says, I know what you like. You can be a bit disorganized sometimes. Remember to open that message from your friend.
Oh, well remembered. Yeah, I'll unravel the message and see what it says.
He says, just as you begin to open it, he says, can I have a healings kit from the outskirts in Pent, the local sort of outskirt village nearby, and can I have some dill extract for the dog?
Well, should we tell him that we don't think the dog needs the medicine? Because
Yeah, how is the dog now?
It's still drugged.
Was it dill extract?
Dill extract, yeah.
what was the first thing? Dill extract, and what was the other
And a
thing?
healer's kit.
Healer's kit.
Healer's kit.
Okay.
Okay. I shall read the letter.
Cool. I will bring up the letter. So it's clearly gotten wet at some point. And in fact, you notice the note has been opened before. So you move on to the note. And it says, "Gentlemen, I will be brief. I have been informed of your success in Blard. Your skirmish with the dwarves has been both noted, and negotiations with Beyondheim are currently delicate. Report to Heinrich, and he will compensate you. Then enter the city in 3 days. Vigo."
I love that note.
So we may not go to the city just yet. Then we'll go to.
So we need to go to the city and find Heinrich. Is it?
So, Ad, from what you remember about the area is there's a small village outside the city, and it's the outskirts of Pient, where there's like, shops, market stall, people, a mill, etc. And you kind of live just outside the outskirts. And then there's the city itself, which has like a big gate on it and guards and things like that to let people in and out the city, because there's only one bridge taking you in and out. So that's kind of the setup of the city of Pient in the outskirts. You lived and grew up on the outskirts, and you probably occasionally went into the city, or it's up to you how much your character went in. But that's kind of the setup. Heinrich, do you want to give me a knowledge? Do you have a knowledge local at all?
Geography, I've got.
That helps. I tell you what, I'll take a straight intelligence check, D20 plus your intelligence modifier, to see if you remember who Heinrich is, because you're from this area.
Oh God, 4.
You're not sure who Heinrich is at all.
Okay. I'll show the letter to the old man and go, do you know anyone by the name of Heinrich?
He opens it. And he says, "Yes, I do. It's the guard that's been posted here. He generally, you can find him in the tavern, but he does patrol occasionally. He was sent here to root out suspicious people."
Okay, like our friend who's just left.
He cocks his head. "What do you mean someone's left? You're all still here."
Oh shit! Yeah.
Never mind. Shall we head out then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good.
Cool. So you guys travel into the Pient outskirts. It's only a short road from your father's house, actually into the outskirts. So it only takes you about 5-10 minutes to actually get there. And you find yourself. Where is it? There we go. Heading into the settlement. Marion stays behind, healing up from her wounds. But as you leave, she asks you if possibly you could find some people with a cart in order to retrieve the weapons that you've left back in the swamp. She said she was asked to bring them to the army.
Right. Well, wander across the bridge then into the town. Oh, mind you, who's this chap on the log here?
Should we go speak to him?
Yeah.
So as you guys look at him and walk to him purposely, he says, "Hey guys, welcome to. By God, is that you, Ulf?"
It is indeed.
Wow, I've not seen you in must be 8 years. I was a boy when you headed off to the city.
And what was your name? You look very different from what I remember.
He nods. He says, "I'm John, the miller's boy." Well, I'm now the miller.
What happened to John?
He says, "Oh, my father's just retired. He's gotten old. He helps out at the mill, but I've taken over. What can I help you with?"
I'm looking for somebody called Heinrich.
"Oh, Heinrich. He's in the tavern."
Oh, awesome. We're also after a cart, if you know of any.
He nods. He says, a cart's something I could get a hold of. Why?
A friend of ours needs it to retrieve some goods from a broken cart.
He nods. He says we could do that. Where are the goods?
Just north of here.
He gives you a strange look. In the swamp?
Just to the side of the swamp, yeah.
He says, well, I could get a cart together by tomorrow and a few boys to lift and pack things, but we're not fighters. Not like you going off to Pient to serve, with the local militia. We'd need you for protection, but we'd be more than happy to cart the goods for you.
Yeah, sure.
He nods. And he says, where shall we meet then? At your father's house tomorrow morning?
That'd be ideal, yes, please.
He nods. He says, I'll get a few of the boys, a cart. And it's always good to do a favour for an old friend.
Excellent. Thank you.
And he nods.
Shall we head off to the tavern?
Cool. You know exactly where the tavern is. And the tavern is another page over. I'll reveal this page. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And as you can see, there's the mill on your right and the tavern on the left. And you enter. I tell you what, I've got just the page for a tavern moment. You guys enter the tavern.
Way.
Very nice.
It's my little spell on perspectives. So yeah, it's bustling. There's a few people in the tavern. You notice a guard, however, heavily dressed as opposed to everyone else, at the table with a crossbow at his side and an axe on the table, and he's gnawing away at an apple and a steak. And other people are just kind of drinking. You've got workmen finishing their day, a morning in the field. You've got other people who have been drinking throughout the day, some of the older alcoholics, and then you've got, the people serving at the bar.
I'll wander over to the guy dressed up in the guard's garb and just say Heinrich.
He nods.
And
he says that you are.
I'll show him the letter.
He opens the letter and he says, You're the mercenaries Vigo hired, eh?
Yes, we are.
He nods. He says, I'm rightly supposed to compensate you then. I have a chest behind the bar. Give me a minute. And he gets up from his table, goes to the bar, and he comes back with a very small wooden chest. And he says, I'll be keeping the chest, but you can take the contents. And he pops it open, and you see 6 vials in there.
Ooh. What colour are they?
They're red.
Oh, are these the things we ordered like 6 episodes ago?
He says, I believe Vigo's given you 6 healing potions.
Lovely.
Excellent. Bloody hell, we
Always
need
useful.
them.
Yes.
2 apiece? 2 apiece?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
They are 3 potions of cure light wounds and 3 potions of cure moderate wounds.
So we're splitting out. We're one light, one moderate, but we know we're going to nick them off each other when we're on the floor to shove down our throats, regardless. It's always good to have someone you just in case.
And that's it. And that's what's in the chest.
Nice.
He shuts it, takes it back, and he says, so you boys have some jobs to do.
Always have jobs to do.
Fancy another?
How much does he pay?
Get a favour off old Heinrich. I could probably shuffle some gold your way.
How much gold?
100?
These potions, did we pay for these?
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't.
You asked, you were cheeky and just asked for them off Vigo.
Sound.
I thought we paid for a load. We must have them. Check my sheet.
We've long used them, probably.
True. Very true.
You did pay for a load and you got them and you used them. You got them from the healer.
Yeah.
Just open my D&D sheet just to see what I do have.
So what's this task you have for us?
There's an individual staying in a house far from here. He's being protected by the locals, but I don't like the look of him and I want him gone.
Is this chap deaf by any chance?
Shakes his head. He said he's not an honourable chap like yourself, but he's a half-elf. And he's not known round these parts, so I want him gone. We've got too many spies in the network coming in and out of the city, and I just think it's better if he clears off. He's a guy called Laurel. He's staying at Ivor's house, opposite the tavern, actually. Now, it looks a bit heavy-handed if I go over and start waving a crossbow around. I've been trying to catch Laurel on his own, but he's caught on to me. You can be a bit more of a brute force, shall we say, and people won't be riled so much. I have to operate a bit more inconspicuously around here. So, if you guys want to hammer on the door and kick him out, go ahead.
So what's your reasoning for kicking him out besides you don't like him?
He's new to the area. I'm here to root out spies. He's a strange half-elf in an area that he shouldn't really be. So, yeah, he's got to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair logic, I guess.
I mean, I'm there smiling away really because I'm just like, this is my type of guy. Let's go. so, if it's got to go, it's got to go. No problem at all. Plus 100 gold. I mean, that's not bad.
Is it 100 gold each, or is it just 100 gold in general?
He gives you a look, and can I get a diplomacy off you?
Ooh. Do I have diplomacy? Oh, I do. Ooh, we're quite good. 21.
He said, well, it was going to be 100 gold for the lot of you, but I tell you what, I'll give you 50 gold each. I like the look of you. I hear good things from Vigo. If he's giving you these potions, I hear you can make things happen. But if you're getting 50 gold each, I want you to make sure that Laurel's gone. Either scare him or bury him. I don't really care. Like, he just needs to not be coming back.
Is this the guy that was in with your dad?
Oh.
Was this someone else?
Different...
That's Bo.
Oh, okay, that's fine. It's all right. It's because I ain't doing it for 50 gold if it's him. Right. Okay.
Also, Heinrich, do you know where I can get hold of some dill extract and some healer's kits?
He nods. He says there's a shop not far from here. Isn't this your home?
Yes, but it's been a while. You know how it is.
He nods. He says, well, at the side of the mill there's a shop. I think Henrietta's outside at the moment. You just ask her, she'll let you in. I think her father's out for the day, but they're the local general shop.
So, Giles, how are you going to deal with this other guy we got to meet?
Well, my plan is I go in and I command you to go attack him.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The whole time we're walking through this town, isn't there like a giant bloodied skeleton following us?
There is. So do you want me to send him a bloody skeleton to see how powerful? Do you know what? Actually,
That's true. I forgot about
this.
that. Is he? Did he follow you into the town?
He better have done.
Is he in the tavern as well?
God.
He stood next to me. It's like, it's my bloody guard. So,
Okay. I think Heinrich's pretty chill. But he does say to you,
50 gold from a skeleton as well.
No. He says, people don't like necromancy in cities or villages. Me, old Heinrich, I'm pretty chill. People tend to be quite scared, and you're going to have to put some clothes on that thing and a helmet over it, and just try and make it look not like. And he just points at it, and it's bleeding on the floor. He's just like, throw some old clothes over it, put a hood over its head. Just do what you want. You can say it's some sort of diseased person, and no one will approach. But this is pretty graphic.
Do you know where we can get some clothes, don't you?
Yeah, your house.
At Laurel.
Hey, I like your thinking. Shall we go find Laurel then, and the skeleton can go dress himself?
I mean, we could do with getting Laurel out of the city, though, can't we? Because we don't want to kill him in the city, because we need to be in the city. So we need to find a way of getting him out of here. Then do what we did to that poor random teenager we found that time and just chop him up.
And get a massive rat to eat him, and then for the remains to be left behind again. That ain't gonna work. What do we know? Can we ask this? So I've got.
Which should be okay, isn't it? Because isn't Heinrich the guard anyway around here? So
that's point.
What is there anything this guy wants that we know of that may entice him out of the city so we can intervene?
What, you ask Heinrich this?
Yeah, Heinrich, because do you have any ideas how we can get him out of the city so we can have a word?
I don't know. He's an elf. He probably likes trees and singing and lutes. No offence. And he looks at you two half elves.
So I've got an idea. Why don't one of us go into the city and ask him, just go there with a map, say, we're trying, and go up to him and ask him if he knows where certain place is, because there's some treasure, and if he's willing to help us, we'll give him half the loot. And I know that's a bluff, so let's hope we bluff well. Who's got a good bluff?
Mine's -2.
Mine's 1. Dave, what's your bluff?
My bluff is 9.
So you're going into the city?
No.
It's only the house opposite. You don't need to go all the way into the city. He's still in the outskirts. It's literally the house opposite the tavern. He hears you sort of meticulously planning, and he says, if you want a bonus from old Heinrich, and he sort of quiets his voice, he says, this is going to sound pretty weird. Don't take offense, guys. Could you bring me back in here?
It will be my pleasure.
I'll make it worth your while.
Usually with Angelus, he could bring you back the head.
He shakes. He says, "No, that's just in bad." He says, "Even if you frighten him off, if you can get an ear, that'd be fab." Something to show the wife.
Here, man.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you want an ear? Okay. Who's good?
Well,
So Dave,
we won't kill you if you give us an ear.
I'll just swing for the head.
He'd think twice before coming back here, wouldn't he? Rough him up, take an ear.
So, how do you feel about making a map? We're not going to just take his ear. We're going to get rid. How do you feel about making this map for the bluff?
So he's actually in the main city then, not this little part here?
No, he's in the little part here. He's literally in the house opposite the tavern.
Oh, can we not just kill him there then?
Yeah, surely. Just go out, pop over the road.
Heinrich sort of gives you a look and he says, if you just murder him in the house, I mean, he's staying with a local family. So,
kill them as well. But
barging in and gutting him in front of, the house owner, his 2 daughters and his wife is probably not a good way for me to keep the peace.
Okay.
So,
what if a skeleton was to accidentally enter the house and murder them all.
No, I was thinking maybe scare them out of the house, not slaughter the entire family.
He says, "I tell you what, I think you guys should go to another table and plan this, but I can guarantee that every person in this Thorpe is talking about the bloody skeleton that's just walked in and into the tavern." He says, "I guarantee it."
Oh, you know
I
what,
put
Lee?
money on it.
We could just go over the road and be like, "Oh, have you seen that crazy-looking skeleton in the tavern?" and see if he comes out.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity.
Go on, Dave. You're the bluffer.
Just we need to get him out of the house because we can't kill him with all the people. I mean, we can always just set fire to the house.
Oh, you and fires.
This is Ad's hometown.
It's not mine.
I mean, it's up to you. Ad might not care if his hometown is set ablaze, but Ad theoretically knows the people here.
I'm just concerned about murdering an entire family. That's all.
All right, let's go with let's send Dave because he's got high, but we need a bluff basically. You're gonna have to roll a bluff. So go there, ask him to see this guy. Say you need help. The skeleton's in the tavern. Is this guy gonna be alright? Let's kill him in this tavern.
Or what about? I don't think he's going to be good in the tower. I think we need to kind of get him out of this bit. We need to get him like in some sort of like.
Can't we just wait in the street and sack over his head and abduct him, sort of thing?
Can we get a cart?
Take him to the woods, finish him off.
Wait, can we get a horse and cart and bring that outside and then just knock him
Shove
out?
him.
Yeah.
You'll get a cart tomorrow.
Ah.
I want to kill him today.
I want to kill him now.
See if you can get a horse and cart today. That's not a problem. We'll have to look around though.
I saw one on the other map, so we'll just take that one.
I like how we've gone from like heroes of war to just mercenaries now, just to kill anything that happens.
I mean,
you're also killing an innocent half elf because the guard just doesn't like the look of it and wants his ear for some reason.
What have we become?
Wait, what spells do I have? Because can I not just go in there and make it so his whole family don't remember a thing? Or even see it?
Can't you conjure an animal or something like that?
Or just puts in and tramples him to death.
Just summon that random dolphin and make you drop out the sky.
Wait. DM, can my skeleton theoretically go in, grab him, and put him out?
Yeah, so your skeleton only responds to basic, specific instructions. So think of the skeleton like a computer. Like it'll do what you tell you, but only very like really basic things. So like a skeleton can't cook you a meal, but it will grab a plate and bring it over here, or it will attack a person.
So it will drag him out.
You could say break down that door, walk in, grab the half elf, bring him out here. It'll understand that very basically.
What do you think, guys?
Cool. Just get him to grab him and drag him into the woods.
I want to do that. DM, I'm going to send in my bloody skeleton to the house. It's going to break down the door. He's going to grab him, put him out.
Instead of breaking down the door, can he just knock it politely?
Nah.
Wait for them to open the door.
No, because if he knocks on the door, a child could answer, and that might freak them out. So, I mean, the skeleton breaking is going to freak them out anyway.
I was going to say breaking the door down and bursting in won't.
I'm really frightened that skeletons knock on the door, not break down the door, come out and drag people.
Do you know what? Can a skeleton knock on a door and wait, or will he just? Yeah.
Your instructions will have to be quite specific,
right,
and not overly complicated.
Exactly. Go in that house, grab what's his name?
Not real.
Grab
Because he's worth
Ariel.
it.
He's going to come out with the dad or something. He isn't going to go through the
Grab
series.
Ariel.
How's he going to know who Laurel is? That's a good point, Dave.
I've said Ariel there. Laurel.
He's a half elf, isn't he? Like Paris said. So the others would just be human, aren't
Do we
they?
have a photo of him?
No, he's apparently one of the only half elves in town.
Painting of him? I don't know. Piece of hair.
Piece of hair. Yeah, Heinrich's just collected his hair.
So sorry. Okay, this is going badly. Let me start all over again. Who's in this house? There's Laurel, daughter.
There's a family basically. So opposite the tavern, there's a house, and Laurel's staying with a local family there. Heinrich can't get to him because he's tried knocking on the door and coercing him out, but basically the half elf's caught on that he wants to be kicked out. Heinrich doesn't want to make a fuss because he's meant to be guarding the city, but also he doesn't want him in there. So he wants either you guys to frighten him off, rough him up, and get him away, or make him disappear.
Right, standing a skeleton. A skeleton in that house, standing there. They'll all run out.
What?
Just send the skeleton into the house. They're all going to run out. It's a bloody skeleton.
Well, how about this? If the skeleton goes in, scares off all the family, and holds Laurel in there, we go in there looking like the heroes that we pretend to be.
Yeah, but he doesn't know who he is.
Murder him there and then.
That's the point. The skeleton, we don't even know what he looks like. We know it's a half elf. Hang on a minute. Is he the only half elf in there?
Yeah, you gather that based on what this dude said.
Alright, cool. Sod that. Break down that door, grab the half elf, pull him out, take him down the road.
This is where we find out your skeleton is literally made out of like just paper mache. Just going to die.
We're about to find out. I feel that was precise.
Okay.
Sounds good. At worst, we can wait in the street, because if he does come running out, the skeleton doesn't grab him, we can grab him.
That's true.
I can't wait to see what happens there.
I'm just going to copy your skeleton into this place. Let's get the tavern up. The map of the tavern. So you guys are like all in here, right, aren't you? So I'll just drag you in. Skeleton's in with you. So go on, Lee, what you were asking him to do.
Go into that house, grab half elf, bring him out, take him into the tree line.
Okay, so your skeleton immediately walks out the tavern, and it doesn't take long for there to be an absolute commotion. People are screaming. You hear like, "What the hell? What's going on?" And you see a group of you see a woman, a man, and a child running out of the house, and they just run down the street and continue running. And you hear a massive commotion on the inside of the house.
Oh no, somebody sounds like they're being attacked. We better go investigate.
That's a lie, Dave. That's a bluff. We'll have a bluff from the local people around you.
Oh no. So what do you want, a bluff?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, natural 20. 29.
Cool. Yeah, like you hear like a woman in the background going, "Oh, so brave." Yeah. So you guys are outside this house at the moment. You're not entirely sure what's going on inside, but you hear an awful commotion. You hear things being smashed, but the bloody skeleton has not come out yet. With
I'm
Laura.
going in.
Cool.
You guard the door, Dave, and tell anyone that they don't want to go in yet until we've made it all safe.
Cool.
You've got the best bluff, haven't you?
Yeah.
So both of you walk in, and can you stop and do initiative checks, please, everybody?
What do you want? Sorry?
Initiative checks for everyone. Apart from you, Dave, waiting outside.
Oh, that's bad. So my initiative is -1. I rolled a 4, so that's 3.
Cool. The skeleton will go at the end of the round.
And 19 for me.
And so 3 is Giles. So, Ad, you go first. However, what you see as you enter this place is the bloody skeleton has a few arrows in him already, and Laurel looks like he's had a nasty scrape round the face. There's just a couple of stray arrows, and it looks like the place has been roughed up, but it looks like Laurel's mostly holding his own against the bloody skeleton. And as soon as he sees you two guys enter, he says, help me with this fiend."
I shall go first, so I will await.
Well, can I just knock him out with a club?
What, Laurel?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can give it a try. So a non-lethal attack is -4. But yeah, give it a go with your club.
Okay, so +5 to hit, is that?
Yep, so D20 +5 to hit, but then I'll minus the 4 off the end result for the it being a non-lethal attack.
23.
23, so even with the -4, that's a hit on Laurel. Roll for damage, please.
1d6 is that?
Yes, that's 1d6 for your club, plus your strength modifier.
Oh dear. Where's my strength modifier?
It's +1.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
that's...
Oh, he's a human, so you get an extra +1 to your damage, don't you? Is it an extra +1 for your favoured enemy?
Oh
no,
yeah.
he's a half-elf, so it counts as both a human and an elf, so you do get the bonus. So let's have a quick look at your favoured enemy bonus. You get a 2 bonus on weapon attack and damage rolls, so it's +2 on both. So you get +2 on damage.
Okay. That on top of the +1?
Yes, it's +3 in total.
Okay, so that's 4.
Cool. So you club him over the head pretty hard, and he turns and looks to you a bit woozy in the face, and he says, "What are you doing? The skeleton's right there."
Can I take another swing, or is that?
No, that's no. Your go. It's Laurel's turn now, and he says, "Wait, you've been sent by that guard, haven't you?" And then he fires his arrow point blank range at you. Now he has the ability, the skill for this, so he's able to take it. What's your AC, Ad?
12.
12. Okay, that's a definite hit. It's a short bow, so it's 1d6 straight for him. You only take 1 damage as the arrow just grazes his shoulder. Lee, it's your turn.
I'm going to reach out and do Bleeding Touch to our friend right here.
Okay, cool. So that is a touch attack from you, Lee. So that's a D20 +2 for you. You've got to beat his touch AC.
17.
17. Oh, that's pretty good. That beats his touch AC. Yeah, that is for bleeding touch. Is it 1d6 for you, Lee? Yeah, 1d6 of damage per round.
I don't know if my level changes. Now I'm a level 5.
It's the same. It's still d6 plus 1d6 damage per round.
Right, 3.
And it pisses for 2 rounds. 3 damage. Yep, he bleeds from his eyes and ears, and he didn't have a whole lot of health left. He passes out unconscious and continues bleeding, and combat ends.
Cool.
Bleeding touch is always a winner. I don't know how, but it just always is.
As you guys are staring and looking at him, he takes his 4 more damage, bleeding, and then he'll take his final damage of 3. So there's just loads of blood on the ground now as he's bleeding out. And he's going to do a save versus death on each round as well.
Can I command my skeleton to go wait in the tree line?
Yep, cool. I mean, you're in the middle of the outskirts, but you can wait in the bushes around the back or something.
I just need him out of the way of anyone that may come towards this house. I need my skeleton hiding.
Do you want him to grab the clothes off him first?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Let's just take the clothes off him, because I don't know how well we'd command a skeleton to do that. We can try. A skeleton, take clothes.
Yeah. Laurel's got a large elven cloak and a, just normal padded clothing, pretty much covered from skin to toe. He's got a hood to put over his head, but his face is very much clear. He's got a set of gloves as well. The skeleton starts ripping the cloak off him immediately, and then starts pulling his shoes off and starts tearing at his trousers. Like, really just, like, the easiest way to take the clothes off is just by ripping them off him.
Okay, noted. That's a bad idea to tell a skeleton to get close.
Is he continuing to do this as he
Stop.
Okay, he stops. He's torn up the trousers and the cloak, but
I salvage what I can, and just put it on the skeleton, and I would just tell people it's a bit now nourished.
Okay, so you'd clearly be able to see the bleeding legs based on the state of the trousers now, but dressing him up, apart from the face and the legs, he's pretty much covered.
Can we have a look around? Oh, no, I'm not in the house, so...
You can go in the house if you like, now you've heard that the fighting stopped.
Can anyone see me outside the door at this point?
Yeah, there's a whole group of people like waiting in the street looking at you because of, you heroically said, I'm going to go in and solve this problem.
And I'm waiting by the door.
Yeah, like people stopped running and thought that we're going to see a hero in action.
Shit.
Can I just check their wardrobe to see if there's a pair of trousers in there?
Yeah, of course. Give me a perception.
$25.
There's mostly dresses, but you see a pair of work trousers, a couple of sort of burlap sap style shirts, and also a hood as well, a sort of a simpler cape that's draws closely at the top.
I'll grab the trousers then and pass them to Giles and go, you figure out that.
I dress the skeleton.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Looks really weird dressing this skeleton because it's like clothes hanging off a skeleton, essentially. So it's really in sore need of some padding and some other stuff. But you do your best job, and it looks still pretty freaky, but less freaky than it did before.
So I look to Ulf and go, do you want to take the ear?
Oh, yeah. I'll shout, Angelus!
The hero.
No,
yeah, the hero.
People. I will be back momentarily. And I will go in. What's up?
Do you want to say the ear? Not the head, the ear.
I'd like to say the head, but...
Just the ear. We can't get the head out of here.
Fine.
Remember, you're trying to be a good person these days, so just take the ear.
What about both? Will they give us extra for both?
He doesn't want the head, he just wants the ear.
No, can I get both ears though?
Why not?
Cool.
So Angelus, when we leave, if you shout, "Oh, we've defeated the skeleton," because they shouldn't see it now, we've covered it all, and we'll sort of try and carry the body out away from where everyone is, so they think that's the skeleton.
Discreetly carry out the naked elf.
Yeah.
Half elf.
We'll cover it in the dress or something from the cupboard.
We'll take a bed sheet. We'll just take a bed sheet.
The bed sheet. Yeah, we'll pull a bed sheet
cool,
off.
That'll work. Yeah, you wrap him up in a bed sheet. I mean, he's bloody anyway, so the blood seeps through, and you've bundled him up nicely in the bed sheet.
Cool. I'll just take. I'll take my axe and I'll cut off both ears.
Yeah. Nice. You take both of his elven ears.
Brilliant. Can we have a look at? Is there anything else on him that we need? Is there any markings or anything?
I mean, yeah, if I rummage through his stuff, can I get perception?
Okay. So it's just a naked elf. I need 2 screens. I do. 21.
He's got about 40 gold on him, a few arrows. His bow looks nice. It's a fancy carved short bow. Certainly looks a bit nicer than yours, to be honest.
Oh, thanks. Okay, I'll take the 40 gold and the bow, and I'll put it in my sack of endlessness.
Yeah, cool. He has a few personal trinkets on him: a small carved statue, some food. He's clearly been whittling something and has a small whittling knife. He has some basic survival gear. He has a healing kit on him as well.
No need to go to the shop, boys.
You know what? I've just realised that Dave had that bag. We could have just gone in there and jammed the bag over his head.
Could have put it in the purse, of course.
Yeah. Actually, we can do that now, though. Instead of being bundling out, we can say we defeated the skeleton, and it's lost it. Well, we just shove him in the bag.
I'll just say I sent it. I casted a spell and it disappear. That's a bluff. No, let's not do that. We need to learn. Bluffs are bad.
I'll explain what's happened. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
sound.
So you're stuffing Laurel in your bag of holding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sound.
Or we could just avoid the people.
We can deal with the body at any time then if it's just randomly in Dave's bag.
Yeah. The people are moving closer. This is bad.
Quick, get it in the bag.
Get it in
Put
the
it in the
bag
bag.
now.
Gathering.
Yeah. Okay, let's get him in the. Let's get Laurel in the bag. And then, oh god, how about when we get out? Well, you need to command your skeleton to kind of go. Oh shoot, where's he coming from?
Wait,
Everyone's coming in.
for those that don't know,
They're not coming in,
Dave,
they're just gathering outside.
Dave has a bag that is small in size but ridiculously big inside, and it doesn't affect the weight either, does it, Dave? Doesn't matter what you put in it.
No.
Yeah, so that's where we're putting this body into a never-ending bag.
Or what about if we can? Shall we tell the skeleton to pick up Laurel and go in the bag as well?
Skeleton's hiding in the bush.
Well, the skeleton's still in the house at the moment.
He's in the house with us, isn't he?
I thought it disappeared into the bush. Go on, put the bloody skeleton in the bag. Bag.
What I was going to say is, if we get them all in the bag, and then when we leave, we can be like, we defeated the skeleton, but it released some sort. I'm going to have to bluff this. I know. It released an entity came and swallowed it, but took Laurel with him.
I think they'll believe whatever you tell them, to be honest. They ain't going to be highly intelligent, to you, I don't think.
What should all be scholars?
Yeah.
Actually, that's not what happens with a bloody skeleton.
Yeah, should we do that? Watch me bluff be terrible now.
Okay, so we're Laurel and the skeleton in the bag.
Yeah, everything goes in the bag.
Okay, cool. I'll move them at the side of the screen, but we know they're in the bag.
Cool. Right, it's showtime, guys.
I'm just waiting for you to walk out. You go first. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay. I think let's have a quick plan. Where are we going to go once we've done this?
I need to go to the shops.
I need to get me bread and milk.
Have an errand to run.
For Papa.
There's
Yeah.
no reason we can't go to the shops and continue.
All should be good.
That's what you do after you've saved a town. Like, you go to the local shop and buy supplies.
True. You don't need to buy a medikit, though.
Say again.
You don't need to buy a medikit. We've already robbed one off Laurel's body.
Oh, cool. Just the dill extract then.
Yeah. We don't really need that either, though, because the dog's only ill because that bloke was poisoning it. Well,
Yeah, but is it going to get better unless we give him this stuff?
That's true. I don't know.
It's on the way back out anyway,
Cool.
I think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, God, this is gonna be awful.
Go on, Angelus. Get yourself out the door.
So you're going to go to the shop? I mean, I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself here.
This is the shop here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at all those people.
Tell you what, I'm going to just leave. I'm going to leave the town and tell everyone it's okay, and then go to the pub. And wait for you, Wolf, to come into the pub to me. Yep, let's do this. So I leave the house panting.
Okay. So as you leave, everyone looks curiously at you, and the man you saw run out of the building strolls up to you straight away, and he says, "What happened is Laurel's not come out with you.
We did everything we could."
Can I have a bluff, please?"
Oh, no.
Oh no! Please
I'll
roll.
tell you what, you roll your bluff, you tell me the rest of your BS, and then I'll give you bonuses and negatives depending on how believable it is. I'll have your bluff first, please.
Okay, so I rolled 11. Well, bluff is 9, 20.
It's 20 in total. Let's see if I need to start deducting. Go on.
Oh no!
What happened to Laurel?
We did everything we could. He fought valiantly against the skeleton, the creature. We we managed to defeat it, but in its last moments, it conjured a portal of some kind and drew Laurel into it. We couldn't save him.
He looks down and he says, "He was a brave man, a good man. A lot of people don't accept half-elves around here because of the wars that happened, but you know we've always taken them in, and ever since." And he looks towards Ulf. He says, "Ever since Ulf's mother settled here, we've always made an effort, and it's just really sad that it ended this way. I suppose Heinrich will be pleased, but we're not happy at all." And he looks really sad. And he says he was a fine man, a good man. And he just heads on into the house to basically clean on up. Everyone else sort of wanders off. It's kind of a somber moment, but everyone kind of gets back to what they're doing. The girls go back in the house. The little boy goes back to playing in the bush. And everyone just kind of gets back to doing their thing.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Wait a minute. The elf isn't dead yet.
He is.
He is.
Is he? I thought we just knocked him out.
No.
No, I tried to knock him out.
It's not been confirmed.
Oh.
He could be dead. He might not be dead. You don't know for sure.
The bag's like a vacuum, guys. He's gonna suffocate in there.
He's dead either way.
I mean, what? I'm sure. Hang on. Where's my skeleton? It's in the bag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I gave him bleeding touch, and he was unconscious. Plus, every round he would take more damage. So chances are he is dead. We can get him out of the bag and check. I mean, if he's not dead, he's going to need some air.
Probably.
And he can't hear anyway because you've just taken both his ears off.
Oh, shit.
So I hope for his sake that he is no longer in the world of Norvold.
Well, if he talks, it's kind of bad news for us anyway, isn't it? So we kind of want him dead.
Very true.
I mean, is he going to come back? Like it's like Heinrich's point. Is he going to come back to a town where he was just having his dinner at the table and people stormed in and cut off his ears and put him in a bag, and might run in the opposite direction? But you never know. You never know.
Right. Well, I'll pop to this shop and speak to Henrietta.
Cool.
We'll go to the pub and deliver an ear.
Cool. Or two. Let's go to the shop. What lovely scenes, Paris. You've worked really hard on them.
Wow, yes. They're awesome.
You enter the general store, and Henrietta beckons you inside. She says, "Well, welcome to our shop. What can I do you for?"
I'm after some dill extract, Henrietta.
She nods. She says, "That'll be 2 silver, please."
I'll give you that and take the dill extract.
She nods and she says, "Anything else I can help you with?"
What have you got? Anything on special at the moment?
She says, "Well, the raiding parties came through, gathering in the city of Pient. They took a lot of our potions, but for you," and she smiles and she says, we remember you. We did keep a few potions back.
Okay, what potions?
We can sell a few healing potions.
Okay. Is it just healing potions?
She nods. She says they cleared us out of everything else.
Okay.
We do have supplies, weapons, things like that. Though, we don't sell that many weapons. But everything else is just general goods.
How much are these healing potions?
She says 50 gold apiece. Simple cure light wounds. We managed to save 4 of them.
4. I'll take all 4, please.
Yeah, she reaches back and she takes it out of a chest that's been hidden out of sight, and she passes it to you, and she says, "Welcome back. It's good to see you home."
It's lovely to see you too. Was that cure light wounds? Was it those?
Yeah, 4 cure light wounds, 50 gold apiece.
Nice. Any gossip? Any news? While I've been away?
She said, "Well, they're currently not letting people through the city gates because they're bringing in all the raiding parties in the area and they want the place clear. We've had some merchants pop in and out, but mainly the gossip is a lot of the chieftains have come down to this area. We've got Vigo here. We've got some of the other northern ones. We've got Sved. They're all here, and they all seem to be gathering en masse. We've all had an awful lot of boats come in as well. Awful lot of boats. They seem to be gathering a merchant fleet."
Right. Yeah, we travelled with Sved for a while.
She nods. She says, "I hear tell of a Mercane as well."
Pardon?
A Mercane. She says, the girls in the city said to me that a Mercane is like a magical merchant, a traveller of other worlds. And this McCain, they call him Big Blue, and he was invited here by Vigo on his ship because apparently he sells tin warriors. And Vigo wanted to buy a few of his tin warriors.
Uh-huh. And what do you know what these tin warriors are?
She says apparently men who don't eat, sleep, and can fight until they're destroyed. They sound very powerful, and Vigo wants them for his war. So he invited the McCain here, and he's been giving him lots of gifts, and he sat in the harbour. But he's been here for a few days, and there's no sound of him giving him his tin warriors. You'll have to speak to Vigo if you're going that way. But if you get an audience with the steward of Svard,
I think we might be able to.
She nods.
Well, thank you for your patronage.
She says thank you. And what have you been doing with yourself all these years? It's been 8 years, if I remember correctly.
I've just been travelling the world, working.
She nods.
Going from job to job.
Hey, our first job.
She looks impressed, and she says, "Well, happy travels."
Why, thank you. I shall make my way.
We're going back to the tavern to meet up with the others.
Yeah.
Cool. So back in the tavern, you see Heinrich at his table. Angelus, Giles, where are you two sitting?
I'm at the bar having a beer.
Cool. Can I deduct a couple of gold from you?
You can. Let me just open up my find a sheet. A couple of
the same.
silver, yeah?
I'll take a couple of gold off you.
A couple of gold? How expensive is
Pricey
this?
around these parts.
I know, right?
It's pretty pricey.
Okay, that takes my gold down to 498.
Do you have my 50 gold, Angelus?
Well, that's a good point. I need to add
We
that.
haven't spoken to Hamlet yet, have we?
No.
No, you haven't.
Just checking. I know what you like.
Don't know what you're talking about.
So for your couple of gold, you've got a couple of large pitchers of beer brought over to you. They seem to do them in steins over here.
I'll do
Nice.
that. Okay. Shall we try and back in Heinrich over here? Or is he near us? Or where is he?
Yeah, he's back at the table. He's finished his meal, and he's just got a abacus out, and he's doing some calculating.
Do
He's
you?
got a small pocket abacus.
Okay. Shall we all head over and just,
Yeah, sidle up.
Sit down next to him, give him a couple of years.
How do you do this?
I would say discreetly, but I know that might be a bad idea.
So do you all sit down at the table with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He nods and goes, "Gentlemen,
Heinrich?
is Laurel still in the outskirts?"
No, unfortunately, he had a terrible incident with a skeleton.
He chuckles, and he says, "I don't see said skeleton. Fortunately, seems like you've learned a bit of discretion."
Something like that.
He nods.
Is this skeleton going to be alright in that bag? Would I know?
I don't think it needs to
Unsure.
It's got no lungs, so it should be all right.
You're gonna have to find out.
Well, I can't remember where I put the ears. I don't think I put the ears in the bag.
You put the ears on the
You put the
table.
ears wherever you wanted to put the ears. You didn't specify.
That's very true. I'll just say to Harry as I've got what you asked for, and I'm going to double down on it as well.
Double down, and he he smiles and he says, "My wife Gruda is going to be so impressed. I think I'll hang them on the mantelpiece."
You look so happy when you said that.
He looks happy. He looks so happy.
Okay.
He says, "Are you going to slide them across the table then?"
Oh, you know. I know you'll. Yeah.
Cool. He takes them and palms them, and he stealthily puts them in his pocket, and he goes, "Oh, still warm."
Wrong.
And he takes out 3 small bags, and he says, 50 gold apiece for each of you. And he says, and as for your special reward, a group of chaps like you could do with some connections in the big city. Your special reward is going to the hall at the hall at Pient and asking for the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him Heinrich sent you. He's a pretty skilled guy. He makes all the good swords for the chieftain of Pient. He's a busy man at the moment, but if you tell him old Heinrich sent you, he might rush a bit of work for you out.
What's his name? Sorry.
His name is Johann.
Johann. Blacksmith.
And I dare say he's the best bloody blacksmith 3 towns around.
Sounds good.
And that, gentleman, is your bonus.
Right.
Excellent.
Sounds good. And you enjoy your prize.
I love him.
So, I'm concerned about us still having this body in this purse, and more to the point, the skeleton. I would like to get out of there at the earliest convenience. Maybe.
Shall we
in a tree
head
line.
back to my old man's hut? I can
Mm.
give the dog these herbs, and then you can let whatever out of the bag.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Sounds perfect.
Is there any spare slices of meat lying around anywhere on the tables?
There's like the gristle from Heinrich's steak.
I was just thinking of doing a slice with some eyes in it to slap on your skeleton's face.
Steak face.
Hide the skull.
That's
I mean, God
genius.
forbid you buy a mask. just give him a steak with eye holes.
It's like a piece of ham.
I like how you put out the eye holes so you can see the gaping eye holes underneath.
Oh, I thought he just wanted a piece of meat for his dog.
He wants the skeleton to wear it like a face.
That's it.
To be fair, I'm surprised you're not trying to slap Laurel's face on him.
Oh, thanks. That's happening.
That's horrific.
We can
That
do
is-
that at. Let's do that at your home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll head back there then, shall we?
As you guys begin to go, the tavern owner waves you over. And he says, "You guys got a minute?"
Sure.
Okay.
He says, "Surprised to see you back, all."
Why, surprised?
He says, "Your dad just didn't mention you coming back. He didn't think he'd not heard anything from you, or worried you were dead."
No, still alive, but something brought us back this way. So it wasn't an expected planned visit.
Will you be here for long?
A while.
He nods. He says, "Ran into John at all?
Yes.
The miller? He owes me a few bob. Could you collect it from him for me?
How much does he owe you?
He owes me, let's say, 100 gold.
100 gold. What's this bar tab? What's this gold for?
Yeah, we'll say it's a bar tab. Why not? If you collect that from me, I'll give your dad his job back." He's not been here in a week.
Oh, what? Right. I'll give him 100 gold. I'll go, there's John's 100 gold.
You're just going to give him the 100 gold?
That's that part out of the way.
Okay, cool.
But I will be talking to John.
He takes it, and he says, cool. He says, well, tell your dad I hope he gets better, and when he comes back in, I'll give him a job behind the bar again.
Okay. He didn't mention that, though, did he, even?
Well, he's not been here in 2 weeks.
Right.
Is that a bad bag?
He nods. He says, I suspected as much. But, I had to hire someone else, and, times are tough. But with this, now I've claimed back some money, I'll be able to hire him again.
Okay.
Right. I think we should head back to the house. Finish drinks and go back to the house.
I'll just nudge John on the way back out.
Oh, like just on the outskirts of the outskirts,
Yeah.
where he is. Yeah, cool. You see him. He's smoking from a pipe and sitting on the hay, just kind of enjoying the day. And yeah, you guys going to give him a nudge.
So
And
I'll
he turns
just be
around
like,
and he says, "Oh,
I'd like the tavern owner says you owe him 100 gold.
I owe him nothing. He's been trying to rough me up for weeks.
So why would he want 100 gold from you, though?
He thinks I'm a soft spot. I loaned someone 10 gold, and it was the seamstress, and she couldn't afford to pay it back. So I decided to just let it lie. And ever since, he's been trying to get me to give him some money, thinking I'll drop it if I do. And I refuse to lend him any money. He's just a sly one, that tavern owner.
What's a crusher? Okay.
Why? What's he told you?
Nothing. It's fine.
I mean, we've got a couple of options here. We could get the gold or leave him be. What's
I'm
it
not.
to do?
I'm not going to rob John. I don't think he's the bad guy in this.
He says, still on for tomorrow anyway. I'll bring the lads.
Yes, excellent. Thank you.
No worries. Our pleasure. As I say, anything for a friend.
Yeah. Tell the tavern owner while you're there as well to shove some casks of ale on with it. Tell him you owe Ulf a favour.
He nods. He says, I don't go in there much. Not partial to too much of a drink, but if I see him, I'll tell him to send a cask up to you.
Excellent. Right, I'll leave you be.
No worries. Happy travels. See you tomorrow.
Getting fleeced.
I think the DM fleeced you there. Alright. I'm dying to get my skeleton out.
Cool.
I just want
No
to.
worries. So you head back to Ulf's house. And here you are. Oh, Bo's gone. Let's delete him from the map. And Marion's in this house. She's now in bed.
Do we
As you
want to
guys
do this
enter the
bit
house-
outside?
Sorry?
I was just about to say, do we want to do this bit outside?
It's up to you.
It
Yeah.
might be cleaner. Yes. Let's do this outside just in case, because I imagine there's going to be quite a lot of blood in that bag that needs to come out.
Yeah. Is your knife sharp, Dave? Angelus.
Always. I'll say okay. Let's open this up.
Okay, so you open up the bag, and inside you see the bloody skeleton. It sort of moves to wait for some orders from Giles,
Get out of the
so it can hear
bag.
them properly. Yeah, it gets out of the bag. It clambers out, and it just looks weird. This thing in clothing, it looks like it's, when you see people on stilts and you see the bottom of their legs in the long clothes and the stilts. It looks exactly like that. It just looks whole weird, but it's like that with the whole body. It just sags off and doesn't fit them properly. You definitely know that this is a skeleton of the clothing. So it just kind of clambers out and just looks unusual, and it just turns to you. Its gaunt, gaping, bleeding eye holes, staring, waiting for the next order. Inside, you see a body covered in blood.
Oh, you could pop his eyes in there as well, couldn't you?
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Yes, we could.
Slightly boz-eyed, like no.
Yeah, okay. I think we'll do some plastic surgery to the skeleton.
Oh, God.
This is going to be amazing, isn't it?
Off with his face.
Okay, let's.
Can you do a
out.
heal check for me, Lee, to check this guy's still alive? Because you
Heal
might
check.
notice if this guy's still alive or not.
Oh, God, peeling his face.
Oh, okay. Heal check. Okay. Let me just roll my d20. Alright.
Because that's like the skill related to knowledge of anatomy and stuff.
Well, unfortunately, I only rolled a 5 with, which is +3. So, yeah. 8.
No idea. You don't know if there's a pulse or not. The body seems warm, but you can't find a pulse. It just seems all a bit weird.
Does anyone else want to check the body before we, or
Yeah.
a few bits?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, my heal is 0, so.
Mine's 3. So what have I got? D20 plus 3, is it?
D20 plus 3, yeah.
Oh, God, that's not much better. 8.
Yeah, you can't tell either. Really hard to tell with all the blood. And the no ears situation just kind of freaks you out.
Okay, what am I going to roll? I rolled 11. Oh, plus. Oh, no, it's 11. Just 11.
Just 11. Again, hard to tell.
Shall we just start peeling his face off?
He's already lost the ears.
So we immediately start to do some careful surgery and dress the parts onto the skeleton.
Pop the eyes.
Okay. Can I get a heal check from you, Lee, for the success of this? Because you're performing essentially what is a strange kind of surgery.
Oh, yes. 19 plus 3, 22.
Everything cuts away absolutely beautifully, but you're unsure of how to get it onto the skeleton. I mean, the eyes will kind of sit in the eye holes, but the face kind of won't stick on unless you. What are you gonna try and sew it?
Do I have a sewing kit? I feel like I've got a sewing kit or something that I can use. I'm sure I've got something in my kit bag.
I would say healer's kit would have thread in, but I mean, it's only for emergency. So I'm saying if you're going to use this, you're going to use the contents for the entire healer's kit.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Unless you guys have got any other ideas what we could use.
No.
No.
I don't suppose we've got any glue, have we?
No
I
idea.
mean, we've got to be careful with this thing. We don't want it to.
You don't slip off, do you?
No.
I mean,
We're going to have cut off more skin, aren't we, and sew it together. So it holds on.
Like slit it up from the ears and around the back and the front so it slips over.
can't we just use a bit more skin and just join it all together?
Yeah, of course you can. You will have to do some sewing because the skeleton isn't like the same size as this guy's skeleton. So you're going to have to. Do you have an extra healer's kit other than the ones that you got?
We got the one that we've got for Ulf's dad.
I've got a healer's kit. If you haven't got one, Lee.
I'm just having a quick look to see what I have got. sure I have got one, but it's not written down on that sheet. Let me just see if it's on here somewhere.
I don't think you do, Lee. I think it was Ulfra only had one.
I feel like this is like turning into like a real sadistic Weekend at Bernie's.
God,
Yeah. I love that film.
Just not surprised. Okay, I've got a cleric's kit.
Yeah, healer's kit isn't in your cleric's kit. You've got a mess kit, which is like your food kit. Flint and steel, cheap holy text, water skin, wooden holy symbol. Yeah, unfortunately, you do have 10 candles though.
Oh no, Paris.
Oh no!
But anyway, if you want to use Ulfs, you could pad eye sockets with gauze and sew things on.
I'm just gonna say, can I burn the skin together? Will that work? I don't think it will.
That's gonna be. You're gonna need to do a bit of stitching here. You can use Ulf's healer's kit, the one he has on him, not the extra one. So there'll still be an extra healer's kit for Ulf's dad.
The question is, will this look okay once it's done?
I mean, you rolled quite highly. You got a 19 plus your 3 for healing, so I'll let you use that score. And will it look good for long because it's rotting flesh at a certain point? Might look good for a couple of days and start to smell.
What do you think, guys?
You can use my kit if you want.
A couple of days. He can stay outside. We can put some lemons on him to make him smell a bit better.
Sure, it'll jerk you up after a while. Just keep him in the sun.
We can put some lemons on him.
All right. Let's let's.
Are you going
this.
for full body wrap, like even the stuff under the clothes, or are you just going to try?
No. We're just doing just. I think if we just do the face and hands, yeah, maybe feet if we need to. Face and hands, I think should be enough. Maybe a little bit of the arms just to make sure the wrists don't look a bit too bony.
Okay, you consume if you remove your healer's kit, Ulf, and you make it look like there is a very bloated face and hands that are very incredibly pale and still a bit bloody, but they're stitched quite neatly onto this guy. The eyes seem relatively full. Whether they'll sink over the period of the night, you don't know, but there's a face stitched onto this skull and hands stitched onto those bony fingers.
Nice.
Excellent. To keep him fresh, we're going to leave him outside in the woods in the cold because I think that'll preserve his newfound skin.
I have in my pack a bag of herbs as well, so I'll put on a bit of string and tie it around his neck.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, you got some spice, didn't you, and herbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you tie that around his neck to help improve the smell. I've got a great suggestion for a name. Spamela. Because of, salted pork and ham.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Nice. I'll pop back inside then and I'll give the healer's kit and the dill extract to Eric.
Okay.
He puts a couple of drops of the dill extract immediately on the dog's gums and starts to rub it in. And he strokes the dog's head and he says, Mutt, he's been a faithful pal. I'll need to get a new puppy soon. Isn't it amazing how time passes? And he sort of looks at you. And then he says, thank you for the kit. I'll keep taking care of Marion's wounds and hopefully she'll be able to wander back to the city tomorrow.
Wait, Giles, don't leave me outside here with a flayed body.
It's fine. He's staying in the woods for the time being. Yeah.
No. I'm left with the body that we've just peeled all the skin off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sure. I will.
Commander, tell the thing to
dig a grave or something. Yeah.
Oh, we're back. Sorry, I was going to get a monster to eat it again, and okay. No, let's skeleton come back here, mate. Dig big hole.
Okay, it begins to scratch at the floor with its new hands.
Oh no! Stop! Get a spade, Angelus. Skeleton, get back in the woods. Come on, we're gonna have to dig this ourselves. We need those hands. Can't ruin this hands that we just put on already. Oh my goodness. Okay. So can me and Angelus please dig a hole? I've got a spade, haven't I, somewhere?
I'm just wondering if I've got a spade.
I'm sure as well. I've got to go get a spade from the house.
I mean, yeah, Eric might have one.
Eric, can I borrow a spade, please?
He has a spade to lend you.
I grab a spade. I throw it to Angelus. Get digging me.
The skeleton will dig using a shovel. You just need to be a bit more specific in your orders.
Will it now? Okay. Well, on that note, I obviously asked the spade back off Angelus and pass it to the skeleton saying, use spade to dig a hole. Big hole, please.
Cool.
Tell him how big.
It is a lot less efficient than if you used a spade because it doesn't have technique. It literally just kind of windmills with it. However, it starts getting through the dirt and this thing will go until you tell it to stop. So it will continue to dig forever, essentially. Even when the shovel's broken and it goes to the very last bit, it will just continue to dig this hole.
I wait until the hole's at a reasonable depth and width, and I ask the skeleton to stop.
You're probably going to be waiting a few hours at the rate that this skeleton's digging.
Can I tell it to stop and just dig it myself then?
You can?
Yeah. I just tell the skeleton to stop. And Dave, do you have a spade anywhere to help me dig this hole?
I don't know. I'm just trying to check my inventory now. I mean, if you know quicker than me, Paris, let me know. But
I'll have a quick look.
I don't think I've got a shovel.
I don't think you did either.
Everything but.
We're going to see if he's got. He might have another spade inside. Could go ask him.
Yeah, sure. I'll nip into the house and ask Ulfs' dad if he's got another shovel.
He shakes his head. He says, "Just the one, I'm afraid. I'm only one man."
Damn. No worries, in a minute. Axes. So if you hit like a particularly rough bit, I can start chopping at that.
So what was that, garlic?
Oh my god, no. Exterminate.
Why don't you leave the skeleton to it while you go have some lunch?
I'm so scared to leave that skeleton digging. I just don't want to come back to a... No, just no.
To a giant hole in the ground.
That's just no skeleton or a skeleton so far in a hole that I can't get him back out.
Yeah, there is that.
I think I will just dig this hole for how long it takes and then go get some food.
Okay. It does take quite a while to dig. How deep down are you trying to dig?
Shallow grave.
Okay, shallow grave. It's probably going to take you a couple of hours to dig a shallow grave anyway. So, yeah, you dig a shallow grave and then put him in it and then start to bury it over. It's probably getting to evening, nearly night. And yeah, and Eric's just warming himself by the fire.
Cool.
Can I get, Giles, have you got any cure wounds?
Yeah, I do.
I'm still on half my hit points from yesterday, pretty much. But from the last in the swamp.
Yeah, I've got a few things. First of all, what time of day is it?
It's evening, so you'll be going to sleep soon.
Okay, so if that's the case, I will cure. Have I got cure serious wounds? I think I might have.
Ooh.
No, because you use that for. You don't have any level 3 spells left. You don't have any of those level spells left because of your
2+1
animate dead.
Okay, so level 3
So
is
you're going to have to go for level 2.
which is
You've
more
got 3.
moderate.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So do a cure moderate wounds for Ubik. That's is it 2d8?
2d8 plus 5, yeah.
Right, so that is not a d8. Is it? Sorry, bear one sec. No, that isn't. That's not d8. Do you know the only reason I know that doesn't have a d8? Because the d8 does not have a 0 on it.
No, it doesn't. That'll be a d10 you're trying to roll, so you want to take one step down. I was going to say I'd show you mine as an example, but I'm still using these weird landmines at the moment.
I've found the d8 behind me. Hey, look at you. That's a 6 plus a 2. So 8 plus what was it?
Plus 5. 2d8 plus 5.
So 13.
Nice.
Angelus, what's your health at?
I'm full, I think.
Okay, I'm also going to use one of them for myself because I also took damage the other day. I am currently on 28 HP, so 7, 4. That's 16, is that right? 7 plus 4 plus 5, is that right?
7 plus 5 is 12.
No, 7 plus 4 plus 5.
7 plus 4 is 11.
16.
Plus 5 is 16, yeah.
Excellent, so 16.
We're adults.
Oh, my maths is rubbish. So that should take back up to full health. Can't go above full health, can I?
No, Baldric the wolf comes up to you and starts licking your hand, looking a bit pathetic with the scratch he's got on his side.
Yeah.
He's on 3 hit points. Forgot about that.
Poor Baldric is going to get... I've got this my last one, so yeah, that's fine. Let's do him too. Come on, Baldric. Ooh, 8. And 3. 11.
I think that's over it.
Plus
What's
5,
his max
16.
now? I think that's over that anyway.
16.
His Baldric's max is now, because he's level 3 wolf, his HP's 9.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Does that put him back on full then?
Yeah, that puts him back on full on 9.
Hey, Baldric lives another day. Who's got their dice out?
That's me, sorry. They're really loud when they move.
No, that's all good. I just assumed it was Angelus sorting his dice out again.
So Marion's in bed, and Eric is going to take his cot. He's got blankets and pillows, and he basically says that you guys can sleep on the floor.
Cool.
If you guys want to stay the night.
So before I go to sleep, I do a little ritual and pray to Next. Obviously saying thank you for helping us out today, and there is a body I've left for you outside in Shadow Grave, and he's all yours.
Nice. So as you pray, you begin to get a couple of little visions. Can I get a knowledge religion, please, Lee?
Oh dear. So 6.
You have a weird dream where you're back waking up in a shallow grave, trying to dig yourself out, and you see a large, bloody skeleton face hanging over you. As you rise, a monster is in the distance, and it looks like a giant lizard, but with a dog-like face, and it's just absolutely bleeding from every orifice, and you see its back all lit up with fire. and it turns to you, and you see the Barghest's face, that creature that you defeated at the end of the last season, coming out and then going back into a weird demonic lizard's face, and then your vision ends. You don't get a whole lot from it, but you didn't roll very well.
I rolled really, really bad. Okay, well, I've explained my vision to Angelus and Ulf.
Man, you gotta laugh the cheese.
And I go outside and take a quick look at the grave just to see if it's still there.
Cool, yeah, it's getting dark, but the shallow grave's still there.
Yeah, I just go back in and don't really think too much about it and say, what time is it? Is it night? Is it time for bed?
It's nearly time for bed. I think Eric's just pouring some gruel out for you all to eat before you go to bed.
Yeah, so I eat with the lads, and I go to sleep.
Yeah, the cabin is unexpectedly warm, and you sleep very well, and the door's locked, and that's it.
Cool.
Right, that is the end of the session.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Apologies for how long we took to
Peel off a man's face.
that and the way we went about going in to get the half elf. Yeah, just our standard process, really, of
just murder
Making
everything we see.
convoluted.
No, it's great. Many parties normally take a little while to deliberate.
That's good. Anyway, I'll end the stream there. And when's our next episode?
Next episode's next week, and then we're taking a week break again.
Excellent.
So
we'll be
next week.
We'll be doing next week,
Cool.
and then it'll be our week break.
Definitely.
So 8 p.m. GMT time, and yeah, that'll be for 2 hours. Yeah, and then we'll be off the week after that. Perfect. Right, I'll see you all next time.
No worries. See you next time on Pathfinder Norveld.
See you later.